Hello, people of the internet. Hopefully everybody can hear me. It's crazy windy today. Sorry about that. It's just, you do shit when you got time, right? So we're back out in the field. I'm kind of doing round two on this garden tractor cultivator thing. Some mistakes were made last time because I don't know what I'm doing. And hopefully we will have learned from those lessons. And let's see what we got for starters. So for starters, I had these, which are basically your dig limiters. You set them, and I had them set all the way down, so the cultivator would only dig in like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, something real minor like that. Another huge issue I had, which you'll have noticed, the control bar kept walking on me. Hold on, there we go. That's better. Control bar kept walking on me. So I ended up putting a bolt in this hole here. There was a hole in this bracket, and after looking at a couple other people's videos and talking to a buddy that still runs one of these, come to find out on the kit that I bought, even in the instructions, like I kept the directions because it had a parts breakdown on it. Nowhere does it show a pin or anything going in here. Well, that's the limit. That's the stop for this. It doesn't allow the leg to go. Without it, it'll flip as far as it wants. So that got addressed. And again, that's just me. I've been around these, but being around them and using them are two completely different things. So I just didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. It also is terrible on these hills. So, like I said, it's a pretty steep hill down here, and when I was trying to go up and down the hill, it wanted to bog and die and act like it was stupid. I'm flipping the camera, hold on. And so it was giving me a lot of grief because of that, and I think it's just at too much of an angle. These are still they're splash oilers, not pressure oilers. Damn, hold on. Maybe stand like this. That might be better. And so it's just tough on hills when you've got stuff like that. They don't like hills. They'll act like it's oil starved and it'll want to cut out. Wind is killing me. It's one of the first nice days we've had in a while. I'll post some photos up here in a moment. Let me try that. Okay, so posted some pictures up. That was the latest flooding we had. We get rain straight for like a week, give or take, 5-6 days. And so that goes back around to why we're not cultivating and utilizing down in the flatter parts of the field as opposed to being on a difficult to work with, obnoxious hill. So yeah, we're gonna get and do, we're gonna get and do something. We'll see if it works this time better, worse. Did I learn anything? Did I not learn anything? We don't know. We'll try it. So hang around, find out. That actually did a little bit better. I went back and rewatched the video before I started this segment, and looks like the front tines are digging in a lot more than the center or the rear tines. So it's not 100% level, it's angled nose down. So I have to get in and do some adjustments on that, pick it up, either adjust the sleeve hitch point, which I don't think is going to help any, but I think adjusting the tongue height on the tool, which I'll show you. So you can adjust, of course that's in the way. Where these two bolts are, there's actually extra holes, so you can adjust where this front connection point mounts up. And that can make things a little bit nicer in there, just with how that is. But it is digging in better. So my problem with it digging in was definitely the fact that I'm dumb and had those in the wrong position. This, I don't know if people can tell, but this is digging in much better than what it was. I've still got a lot to do. I've got to do several passes on this, and then it'll probably bring the disc harrow out. And I still got like that area up there, and 40, and that area over there to get, because those are still done. And I've got to build something around our compost pile so that I can actually start turning it with the tractor, the Massey, instead of turning it by hand, because I'm lazy and I don't want to turn it by hand. My wife also has 2 more of these raised beds I got to set up. We're not doing the whole garden in raised bed. We might this year, but the plan is to have some direct plant produce, and then, well, produce, but direct plant vegetables, and then indirect, raised bed planted vegetables. So I think I'm gonna set the phone down for a while. I'm gonna ride around like Farmer Jim and see if I can't come up with something a little bit better. You guys get the point of how this works. You see what I'm working with right now. This is all, it's not the greatest dirt. We're also bringing in like several tons of topsoil and compost mix to lay down in this area just to get, just try to revitalize some things. But let me get to work and we'll come back later. All right, and so that's about another, 5 minutes worth or so. It's doing a pretty good job in my opinion, and if nothing else, it is breaking things up and getting the ground exposed enough that the daggum rocks are coming out before I ever drop a tiller in here, and find all the rocks with the tiller tines, because that's always fun to do. You got a big, like 3-point rototiller, you got to be a pretty good sized rock, but we're probably just getting a decent walk behind, like rear tine rototiller, and you hit a softball sized rock, and that does not make your day. I found about 4 of them in here so far, so if nothing else, that is worth it in not destroying the tines. So I don't know if anybody can tell. Probably in a bad spot or something. I don't know how to do any of this, but it did actually rip the dirt up pretty well, and it ripped it up about 4 inches deep, which is good for me, for what I want. That's fine. It loosened up all the clay and stuff up here and got to some of the actual soil. It's starting to mix in some of the leaf and wood chip that we put down last fall. And when we get tiller, run the tiller through, it'll do everything better. And when we get the truckloads of dirt, it'll, it's all compounding. It's exponential. We got really heavy clay soil. But I do got quite a few little earthy worms all over the place in here, which we didn't have last year before we put the stuff down. So that also is a win. So, all right. Am I learning things? Yeah. Am I doing them wrong? Probably. If you have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave it. If you don't have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave it, because I enjoy self-deprecating humor. And I'm gonna get back to screwing around with this a little bit. I did figure out on this tractor, I know I want to put rear, some type of wheel weight system on the back wheels. It's actually really nose light. Between the turf tires I've got on the front, which definitely need to be converted to something aggressive, whether it's like an ATV type tire or I don't know, maybe an Ag V tire or something like that. It needs to be converted to something else, because it's like Bambi on ice out here. But the nose is really light, and it's probably just because of the hills we've got, but I'm gonna have to, I don't know, maybe build up. It's got like a brush guard looking thing on it. Maybe build it up, make it heavier. I'm gonna have to add probably a good 40, maybe 50 pounds to the front, just the nose in front of the tires. I'm gonna have to really weight it up. I'm gonna see. I don't know what I'll do yet. I'll probably just weld something into like the factory stuff. But for the time being, Brindley drag cultivator, once you start learning how to use it and you set it up properly, works great. Again, sorry for the wind. I don't control nature. And I'm going to cut it short with that one. Just a little follow-up to what's going on, and utilizing an old garden tractor for garden tractory things. I know the ones I got, being early mid-90s, they're not old garden tractors, but they're about the last of the platform of the old garden tractors. And if anybody has a good deal on the 6-speed manual for this, let me know. Some of these people around here think they're like gold plated. I don't get it. Or eBay anyway. eBay thinks they're gold plated. Anyway, I'm rambling. You guys get out, have fun, have a nice day, and go do something you like.